Want to check in with Andrew real quick, right here in the Wintrust Best Seat in the House. How's the view?
It's fantastic. I love it. Great time.
Yeah, you guys are like...
Kind of have to say that, right?
Probably as close as you could get.
As close to us.
You can leave if you want.
Anyone can get these seats. Just listen to 101 WKQX for the keyword. Big thanks to Wintrust for supplying the best seat in the house. I mean, that couch is pretty dope.
Looks comfy.
Super comfy. I was rewatching the Sound Studios story last night, and it got me thinking, if and when there is a garbage movie, who would play each of you?
I want Amy Adams to play me.
Yeah? Oh, I love her.
I'll say John Cusack.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like me, but he's a good actor.
They can do wonders with makeup nowadays. We just got to get him a little caterpillar, a little mustache.
Who play you?
Did you listen to the question?
I didn't know I had to answer it.
John Cusack?
Joan Cusack.
Very nice.
Steve?
Peter O'Toole.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Game
Come
of
on,
Thrones.
Eric.
All right, Eric, who's
Come
going to
on.
play you?
Brad Pitt.
Yes. Finally, an honest
Yay.
answer. All right, anyone can answer this question. What is longer than Butch Vig's production credits?
God, I was scared what you were going to ask
That
there.
was awful. Here for a minute.
Do you want to answer that question?
No, I don't.
Duke's Dick?
Yeah, come on. Bada boom.
Good answer.
This is so childish. I'm so sorry.
It's comments like that that has got the internet in a whole whirlwind going Shirley 2020. So, any thoughts on that?
Popovich. That's who would get my vote.
Okay.
Who is, for those of you who don't know who he is the coach of the San Antonio Spurs. And he's quite brilliant and a brilliant leader and has a good heart and cares about other people.
Okay. Kind of like you.
I don't have a good heart. It's black.
You guys have really amazing fans, and I just grabbed a couple questions from those who couldn't be here. At Absolute Garbage is a Twitter feed that's dedicated just to your band. And she was wondering, when you dust off decade-plus-old songs like Sex Is Not the Enemy, Parade, Bleed Like Me, Androgyny, etc. for live shows, are you aware of how relevant they've become in 2019? And is it a surprise to you how prescient some of the subject matters have become?
Yes and no. So yes, it doesn't surprise us at all that they've become prescient. And we're just pleased that we have these songs in our arsenal. There's nothing more embarrassing than having to come out after a 25-year career and not have anything to say. You know, when you're an adult, you know, you're no longer young and cute. You're, you know, a mature artist. And so to have songs that we wrote a long, long time ago that are even more relevant now than when we wrote them is extraordinary, you know.
Does it give you kind of a new perspective on the songs that you wrote?
No.
Okay.
No, the perspective remains the same, which I guess it's why we wrote them in the first place. You know, is we've always had an awareness of how unfair the system is for so many people. You know, for so many marginalised voices. You know, I grew up. You got to understand. I grew up. My dad was my Sunday school teacher. You know, I grew up. I am not religious at all, but I did grow up in that environment. You know, where I learnt my 10 Commandments before I learnt to speak practically. You know. And my dad has like a really deep social conscience, which I was just growing up with. And so I guess some of that's rubbed off on me and I can't help but care about other people. I wish I didn't, actually. I wish I didn't give a shit. It'd be so much easier. You know, my life would be so much easier. My husband would have a more peaceful life at home.
He's fine.
He is fine.
All right, one more from our IT guy, Steve, who I think is the biggest garbage fan on the planet, talking to Butch about when you were playing in polka bands and how has that guided your work? with Garbage?
Well, we haven't really done a polka song in Garbage yet, but we are working on a new record.
There we go. Never say never.
I've been in a lot of side bands and other projects over the years. I've been playing in bands since I was 16, and I grew up in a small town, Viroqua, Wisconsin, and every day from like 9 a.m. till noon, it was polka music, and the local radio station driving around, that's what you heard. So I was lucky in college. Duke and I were in a band called Spooner, like a new wave sort of punk garage band, and Steve was our roadie. Yeah, we can get a little roll out the barrel going here. And it's this guy, Cliff Benz, called me up one day and he said, "Hey, Butch, I hear you're from Viroqua and know some polka music. You want to sit in on some gigs?" I said, maybe. He goes, "It's $200 cash for every gig." I'm like, "I'm in." And it was me and a bass player, Tom Lavarda, and I only knew a couple of the polka songs, but he had these red, flowery, one-size-fits-all, it looks sort of like like a doubloon a guard would wear in Britain, like red with big pantaloons and stuff. So we had to wear these outfits, and he had a whole his stage set up, Cliff Benz and the Polketeers, and it was great. I took my snare. I had a hat, a cowbell, and a little tiny cymbal. And then I took my floor tom to put beer on. But I never played it. And every song we would be going doom tick doom tick doom tick doom. And Tom would look at me when he nodded. We just go doom tick doom tick doom doo doo doo. We ended every single song the same way. I didn't know any of the songs, but it was $200 cash, baby, every gig.
Money talks. Well, the show tonight, I've really been looking forward to this for a very long time. Garbage, the Jam Alker Band, Slow Mass, special appearance by Richard Patrick of Filter at the Riv. There are still tickets available. It's all to benefit the Face the Music Foundation, donating 100% of the proceeds to help Recovery Unplugged, which is a rehabilitation treatment center whose mission is to provide hope and healing for individuals affected by addiction using the power of music. And I'm curious if any of you wanted to share how addiction has touched your lives.
Well, first of all, I would like to say it's an incredible ask, and I know the tickets are really expensive. This much I do know.
No, they're $30.
Well, that's pretty expensive.
That's like 2 drinks in Chicago.
All right, well, Chicago, you've got no excuse. Come down and support a really amazing cause. I mean, we've all lost people through drugs and alcoholism, and I think our first collective experience was when we were on tour, one of our first tours with the Smashing Pumpkins. And we were all due to play Madison Square Gardens. And we got sad phone call. You should tell the story.
Jonathan Melvoin, the keyboard player, went out with Jimmy Chamberlain. They overdosed, and Jonathan died. It was horrible. And Jimmy almost died. And that's, it not only did it just affect us because we were stuck in New York. We didn't even know, what do we do now? The show has been canceled, and this black cloud kind of descends over you. And that's can't really hit you much closer to home than that when someone who you're working with and traveling with dies like that. It's horrible. So this is a really good charity, and it's a really great rehab program because it really focuses on using music as part of the therapy. And it's proven that it really works. It's whether you're singing or you learn an instrument and get music to be a big part of the recovering addiction helps a lot. So we're very happy to be supporting it.